This episode of Check Your Leader TV is brought to you by Battlefield Accessories.
Here at Check Your Leader TV, I highly recommend Battlefield Accessories for your gaming tokens and tabletop terrain. Australian made, Australian owned, well worth a look. So this is the table set for today's game of Never Mind the Billhooks. The Battle of Parker Manor. Alright, so what we have is woods here and a ploughed field there. Parker Manor, which is obviously a considerably large building. And then these crossroads here. Then we have another manor house here, but this one's been burnt to the ground. Obviously there's been some pillaging and rampaging across enemy territory, so the Lancastrians have come through this area. They've burnt and pillaged, and the Yorkists are moving to prevent them from doing it, any more of it. And basically what you see is what you get, except that these little, this brush here is, that has no effect on the game. And that's it. That's the table for today's game of Never Mind the Billhooks. The buildings are from Battlefield Accessories. The road is from Battlefield Accessories. The gaming mat is a cigar box mat. The lichen and the trees are all homemade. The ploughed field over there, courtesy of IKEA's doormats. These hedges here are from, if I remember correctly, Miniature World Maker. Okay, all the miniatures will be predominantly, well, all the miniatures. The miniatures will be predominantly Perry, but there will be some front rank thrown in there as well, in all probability, and maybe a smattering of Wargames Foundries, but overwhelmingly Perry miniatures, except for the mounted men-at-arms. They are Eureka miniatures, Italian Knights. Yes, I know they're Italian Knights. They should, Yorkists and Lancastrian Knights were not so flamboyant, but hey, they were going to a ball. Okay, so that's the table set, and we're about ready to start another game of Never Mind the Billhooks, the Battle for Parker Manor. Okay guys, so what I'm going to show you now is actually, I'm going to show you a solo game, even though you see Rowan here with me. We played a game, a very enjoyable game I might add, of Never Mind the Billhooks, but we made so many mistakes, I just don't feel comfortable sharing the video as it is, because it's just riddled with errors. Well, enough errors to give a poor presentation of these rules, and I'm determined that I want to present these rules correctly, because I really do like them, and I would hate for people to get the wrong impression. So what I intend to do is I'm going to show the game up to the point where the maneuver phase ends, and then I'm going to switch to solo play. The reason for this is because the maneuver phase was played perfectly correctly. There was nothing wrong with it. But it also, once the cards start flowing, it actually, billhooks can easily be played solo. So I'm going to show you how I go about it. But the only part of it that can be problematic, I guess, would be the maneuver phase, because, you know, that's not card driven. So what will happen is I'm going to show you Rowan and I playing up to the point where the first shots were fired, and then from that point we're going to play it solo. At the end of the video, I'll give you an update on
I'll explain how the game ended when we played it as a game together, and then obviously at the end of this you'll see how the game plays out as playing as a solo affair. But so that's my cunning plan. So let's take it from there.
Yep. So we'll just occupy here. I'm sure we don't get bothered by random bits of scenery.
No.
Skirmisher you and all.
Yeah, and they can cross a hedge.
I think if a skirmisher can't cross a hedge well, and in your Jaeger uniform.
Yep.
We've got lovely houses from
Battlefield accessories have come to the party for us.
Tabletop ready games, and the roads too.
Yes, now they can move a second time because you can move. So they could do another 8 inches.
I think I could. In that case, actually, probably actually should have gone 8. So we could go 16, essentially.
Yeah, you could, which is 12, and then just another 4 inches. Yep.
Another 4. What's it to here?
Yeah.
And we'll just go there instead. There you go.
Yep. They come rushing forward.
As you do. Being all skirmishery
All
types.
skirmishing archers.
We've unleashed the Welshmen.
Yeah, so go forward with your longbows and have a pot, boys. Meanwhile, I'm going to come forward with these skirmishers, and then I'm going to shoot.
That's fine.
And then that will end the manoeuvre phase.
Fine by me.
Alright, so these boys have just come up.
You got a range of 12, I think.
Yep.
So you might just be in range. I think you are.
Yeah.
He's back. There you go.
Get up, lad.
Yep, close enough by me.
Alright.
Let's do it.
So that's it. So 6, and they hit on 5s and 6s, don't they?
6 of them.
Skirmishers,
5, 6.
5s and 6s.
Skirmishing archers, 5 and 6 up to range of 12. Shoot once in a turn.
That's right. So battle is joined, and it will be joined as soon as I find my dice. Okay, so let's just have a look at the battle lines before we start firing. As you can see, Rowan's skirmishing archers have moved up to this point here, and my skirmishing crossbowmen are on the edge of this little copse of trees. From Rowan's right to left, let's call Rowan's side the Lancastrians because that's who they are. From Lancastrian right to left, we have knights under the command of Somerset, and then he has some dismounted knights or men-at-arms to the front of them. Then there's, and that's Somerset's command, including these skirmishers. The remainder are under the command of Essex, which consists of 3 mixed infantry blocks consisting of bowmen and billmen. They're all retinue archers and retinue billmen, and all the archers are equipped with stakes. They also have a bombard and some mercenary handgunners, 6 mercenary handgunners. And so that is the Lancastrian forces. Now let's have a look at the Yorkists. Okay, the Yorkists have 6 mercenary crossbowmen, a band of crossbowmen there. They then have 2 blocks of bow and pike. These are retinue archers and Flemish pikemen, but they're not going to be foreigners. They're going to be treated as, working together. There's no Brexit rule for these guys. And there's a bombard. They're under the command of William Neville, Lord Falkenberg. Moving across, we now come to Edmund, Earl of Rutland's forces, which consist of 2 mixed units of Shire Levy archers supported by retinue billmen. The Shire Levy archers, they have stakes, and then there's also a bombard under their command. And the third command, we're taking 3 generals. We have a unit of knights and Earl of Dudley. I know that the heraldry is not correct, but hey, I'm from the West Midlands. Well, my family is, I'm not. I hail from the West Midlands, and so, yep, Dudley makes an appearance. And finally, over here, some, again, mercenary crossbowmen. Okay, so the manoeuvre phase has ended, and we're going to start with
these guys moving up into this copse of trees and then loosing a flight of crossbow shot at these archers, and then it will be game on. All right, so these guys, these are crossbowmen. There's 6 of them. They're shooting at other skirmishers. So normally they would fire 6, but because they're firing at other skirmishers, they only fire 3. This is one of the mistakes we made in the opening volley. So yeah, 3 skirmishers shooting at these skirmishers. No hits. 2, 3, and a 3. But that opens the game. All right, so now we go to the cards. And the first card out is Exeter. All right, let's go see what Exeter does. Okay, so Exeter has 2 commands. He has a Bombard. Does he want to engage in firing at this stage? Well, Rowan played it that the Lancastrians attacked. So we'll try to mimic what he did, which was advance with these guys. So he gave one order to them to advance. Yep, these guys will advance. Now they could advance twice, or they could advance and shoot. Nothing's in range yet, so there's been no shooting going on. So that's Exeter's 2 orders given, and he's told those chaps to advance. Okay, so next card out. Okay, Yorkist skirmishers and artillery. Okay, Yorkist skirmishers and artillery. Well, first thing they're going to do is they're going to move with these skirmishers here. 2 moves, so that's going to be 8 and 8 is 16. Yep. Well, the bombards will fire. Okay, so the first bombard will be this chap here. 30 inches. Yep. All right. 6 dice and 3 ones will result in a bombard blowing up. This one first. Boom. No hits. And then the next one is going to fire. Boom, and they're obviously going to fire at those guys in the middle of the road there. 1 6, and only 1 1, so that's a hit. So that's the first blood for the day, because there's no saving against bombards. And now the skirmishing crossbowmen will fire again. Again, only 3 dice because they're firing at other skirmishers. Hitting on 5s and 6s. Well, that's 2 hits. Let's see if these skirmishers can save. Oh, they saved both. All right, so that's the Yorkist skirmishers and artillery done. Next card out. Oh, Lancastrian skirmishers. Okay, so the Lancastrian Bombard has moved forward 4 inches. These guys have done a double move forward, and these guys are going to fire back at those guys there. 3 shots. Hitting on 5s and 6s. 3 4s, so no hits. So the skirmishing has been pretty ineffective so far. Okay, so the next card out is Somerset. Okay. Let's see what Somerset does. Well, Somerset's being aggressive because that's what that was the battle plan. So these guys move forward twice, and the knights are going to move forward as well. So they'll go forward. Double move.
Move their way through here. Because Somerset has 2 orders. He gives 1 to the knights and 1 to those guys. Now he's attached to the knights, so he's moving with them. So now we draw the next card and see what happens. Bonus. All right. Let's see who gets the bonus card. The Lancastrians will be the grey dice. Oh. Okay, so the Lancastrians get it. A perk. They can take a free action with 1 unengaged friendly unit. Okay, so the next command that comes out, we'll probably use that perk. Right, so the next card out is Dudley. All right, so he has 2 commands. His first command is going to be to order these chaps to move forward, and his second command will be for him to move these knights forward. All right, so they'll go forward 6 inches, and I'll see if they're in archery range. They're not, but that's okay. So that's their order done, and then these knights will go forward as well. Okay, next one out. It's a Yorkist commander, and it's none other than Falkenberg. All right, so Falkenberg's no, he's not going to do anything. He's just going to sit. And the next one out is bonus, which leaves the last card, which is Rutland, the Yorkist. So he doesn't get activated this turn. Well, we'll roll to see who gets the bonus, and then we'll play the bonus cards. Lancastrians are grey. This time the Yorkists have got it. Okay. Play on an enemy unit when it is given an order token. Okay. Well, unfortunately, that's not going to help them in this turn because the turn is over. Which just means the Lancastrians get to use their perk before the turn ends. And what they will do is, who's the most advantageous? Well, the Bombard can fire. So 3 dice. Sorry, 6 dice. So we're going to shoot at them with 6 dice. Ooh, 2 hits. So that's 2 kills because she can't save against the Bombard. So that ends turn 1. So we remove all the smoke from the Bombards. We gather in our order tokens. And we shuffle the deck and get ready to go again. All right, so just shuffling up the deck here. Just cut it. First one out will be Somerset. Somerset's boys. Wow. Those skirmishes are to the front. He could order the skirmishes. He could go forward with 1 order and then order those skirmishes to do something. But he's not going to. So the next one out will be Falkenberg. All right. Well, Falkenberg will get the. Will he get the Bombard to fire? Let's have a think about that. Now, one thing that did come up in the game we were playing was when firing Bombards, Rowan suggested that skirmishers would stop the Bombards shooting at formed troops behind them. And I don't think that's the case. What I think is, well, I don't think a skirmish screen can stop a big cannonball
It's not exploding, obviously, but it's just a big chunk of stone or metal. So it's flying through here. So what I'm going to, and I've looked in the rules and I can't find anything that clarifies this, makes it clear what the story is. So this is what I'm going to go with. I'm going to say that bombards, when firing through skirmishes at formed troops, they still roll their 6 dice. So there's still a chance that it could explode. That's more likely with 6 than with 3. And furthermore, the first casualty goes on the skirmishes, and then any subsequent casualties go on the formed troops. So this bombard's now going to fire. So, because Falkenberg's got 2 orders, he's going to get that one to fire, and then he's going to give an order to this pike block here to advance and shoot. So the first one is going to be the bombard firing at the skirmishes. Just a quick note there that the author of the rules has since on a forum come up and said that skirmishes do not block the fire of artillery. We'll see the bombard explode. Well, there's 1 6 and there's only 1 1, so that's fine. So the first hit goes on the skirmishes. So they're doing their job. They are protecting the heavy infantry, but they're not soccer goalkeepers diving out and catching round shot, or in this case, a big chunk of stone or whatever. Okay, next command is these chaps. They're going to move forward. Yeah, they're going to move forward 6, which gets them basically to the road, and they're going to loose one of their fire a rain of fire from their quivers. Okay, so that's 1 shot, and there is a full 12 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hits on the skirmishes, and they will save on a 5+. They save 1, so 3 are down. So those handgunners have felt the full fury. Well, not the full fury, but a fair few fletches of arrows have gone smacking into them. So, ouch. And that's the end of that activation from Falkenberg. Bonus, all right. Again, it'll be grey for the Lancastrians and black for the Yorkists. Okay, the Yorkists have got it this time, and their bonus card is a special event. All right, so they draw the special event. Local truce. Play this card on a leaderless enemy unit that has fought a tied round in. Okay, so we can hold on to that. That's probably a handy one to have, one would think. So we'll put that in there. All right, so that's the bonus card out. Next one out is Rutland. All right. So Rutland's the next one out. What to do, young man? Now Rutland's a bit of a legend. He's got 3 orders, so there's a lot he can do. What he is going to do, he's going to see the range of these check the range of these. They're not in range yet. He could go forward and then loose. But he's not going to. Actually, I think he will. Okay, so Rutland's got 3 orders. there's nothing like, obviously he's decisive. He's going to order them to move and then fire. He's going to order the Bombard to advance, and then he's going to order these guys to advance as well. So that's his 3 orders. So the first one is going to go 6 inches forward to there. And they will fire. At that range, I don't think it's going to be close. That looks like it's over 9 inches. Yeah, it's going to be a long range shot. And he's already taken 2 casualties. So it's going to be 10 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So these Shire archers. Oh, but he's done all right. He has done very good. 1, 2, 3. No, actually it's 6s. So it's 1, 2. Oh man, if he was at, look at that. Look how many 5s there are. So 2 hits. Well, 2's better than nothing, I guess. So 2 hits on the archers to their front. And that's 1 shot out of his quiver. Bombard's going to go forward 4 inches. And these chaps are going to go forward level with the Bombard, just to create some extra room. So that's Rutland's 3 orders done. Next player out of the deck. Oh, bonus. Let's see who gets the bonus this time. Grey is Lancastrians. Oh, the Lancastrians get it, only just. Dummy. All right, but that's not going to fool anyone. All right. So the next order out was Dudley, and he has basically just attached the knights and moved them forward. All right, next one out, Exeter. And there's only 2 cards left, and we always ignore the last one. So Exeter's the next one out. Let's see what he does. So Exeter has 2 orders. So his main attack is on the right, which suggests that he's going to hold in the centre and the left. So what he's going to do is he's going to advance for 1 more turn. You might order these guys to advance over here. Namely, these guys to go forward. But he's going to have to join them because he's outside command range. So he's going to move to a central position for 1 command, and then he's going to tell these guys. Does he get these guys to fire, or does he get these guys to advance in support? I think we'll make a 50-50. Evens, he advances in support. Okay, so that's what he's going to do. So he's going to throw these boys forward. And they're going to go forward once. 50-50. Do they go forward a second time? No. So they're just going to go forward to there, and that's it. So that's his 2 orders. So that is Exeter done. The final card out, Yorkist Skirmishes and Artillery, which means the Lancastrian Skirmishes and Artillery don't get to do anything. The Artillery fired and this turn, so that just leaves the Skirmishes and the Skirmishes because that gun moved. Okay, so as I said, all the guns have fired or moved, so they're not doing anything, but these guys are going to shoot
3 dice at those chaps. 1, 2, 3, no hits. And the skirmishers on the other flank, well, they're just going to advance. So yeah, they might just, let's see if we can get into shooting range. Okay, so they've moved up, so they're within, yep. So now they can fire 6 skirmishing shots at those retinue archers, those Lancastrian archers. Hitting on 5s and 6s, 1, 2. 2 hits, so they'll save. Those archers will save on a 5 and a 6, I'm pretty sure. Just checking, archers save on, yeah, 5 and 6. Well, they saved 1, so they've taken 1 casualty. So that's another 1, so they're up to 3 casualties now. And that leaves, yeah, the final one, which is the Lancastrian artillery and skirmishers. So they miss out on this turn. Foiled. Now we shuffle the deck. We cut it. And the first one out will be, oh, Yorkist skirmishers and artillery again. Well, that's worked out convenient. So these 6 skirmishers here are going to fire again at these guys, hitting on 5s and 6s. Well, there's 2 6s there, so that's 2 hits. The archers will save on a 5 or a 6. No saves, so they're, geez, they're getting shot to shreds at the moment. Oh, I didn't gather in the order tokens. Let me do that before we continue. Okay, so continuing with the Yorkists. This Bombard's going to fire. Can't really shoot at them. Can't be asked firing at another Bombard, so they're going to fire at those, that block of Bow and Bill. So they'll fire at these chaps here, hitting on 6s, 2 5s, a 6, 2 1s. Oh, geez, that was close. But hey, close doesn't buy you nothing. Okay, so that's a kill on those guys over there. So now this Bombard will fire. Okay, again firing at the men-at-arms. So 6 dice, and the first hit will go onto the skirmishers because there are skirmishers to the front. I'm simply doing that. I've picked that rule from the from Napoleonic rules I play, predominantly General d'Armée. So yep, let's see how this works out. 1 6. Oh no, 3 1s. 3 1s. So that Bombard is just blown up. Kablammy. Thanks for coming. That just leaves the crossbowmen. Okay, so that just leaves the skirmishers over here, and they're going to shoot at the. They're going to have a shot at the skirmishing archers. So it's only 3 dice because they're shooting at skirmishers, and no hits. 1 2 3. Okay, so that was not a good turn for the Yorkists in the big scheme of things, I don't think, because their cannon just went boom, but not in the way they expected. Okay, so the next card out is Lord Falkenberg. All right. So what to do? All right, now he's got 2 orders. He's going to use 1 order to order these chaps. No, he's going to use 1 order to order himself to come over to here.
And then he's going to give another order to these chaps here. They're going to fire another storm of arrows at those skirmishers to their front. So there's... hitting on 5s and 6s. 1, 2, 3. 3 5s. All right, that's 3 hits on those skirmishers. They will save on 5s and 6s. They saved them all. Okay, so that's frustrating for those Yorkist archers. Next card out. Bonus. Grey is Lancastrian. The Yorkists get it. Okay, it's a reroll, so they can do a reroll in this turn. Okay, that'll be handy for them. Next card out. Rutland. All right. Now he's got 3 orders. His first order is going to he's going to give an order to these guys. He's going to order himself to move up to a point that gets him within 6 of them. He's going to join these guys. He's going to join this unit. Oh no, if he does that, I don't think he can order another one. All right, so he can pass through his own guns. That's okay. So he's just going to move up to here, and then he's going to order these guys to fire 2 rounds. That takes him down to 3. At those guys there. So hitting on 6s, but 24 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Sorry, 10, 20 dice, because there's 2 casualties on them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, first lot of 10. That's 1 hit. Second lot of 10. 2, 3. 3 hits all up. Can the archers save the hits on them? There's 3 hits on them. They saved 1, so 2 hits on those guys. So he's ordered them to fire. He ordered himself to move. And these guys here, he gave them an order, but he's not going to get them to do anything at this stage. Actually, he's going to get them to move. To there. Doesn't need to turn because they're in the arc anyway. And then fire. So 12 arrows hitting on 5s and 6s. At those skirmishers. Whoa, lots of hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 hits on those handgunners. It's looking bad for them. This could well see them off. Yeah, they're dead. They only saved 1. The rest all went through. So those archers have shot. Those handgunners are gone. And that is Rutland's order taken care of. The next one out, it's a bonus. Grey is the Lancastrians. It's a tie, so no one gets it. The next card out is Somerset. Okay, Somerset has 2 orders. He's going to order the men-at-arms forward and the knights forward. Time for the... So there's time to just barge through those skirmishes and get them out of the way. So these guys are going to move forward twice, so that's 12. And the knights are going to
go here 8, and then they could charge. So they could go to there and then charge these fellas, and I think they will. So the first part of the charge gets them basically through these skirmishes. And then they get a bonus 4 inches, which will get them to charge onto these guys, and these guys will, well, they don't have a leader attached, so they have to dice to see if they shoot or evade. All right, let's have a look. Okay, so they're being charged. They get to react because the first phase of the charge hasn't hit them. So their first 8 inches of movement gets them to there. They've got a bonus 4 inches, so they will reach. These guys now decide what to do. If there was a leader attached, they can choose what they wanted to do. There's no leader attached. So they have to dice. So a 1, 2, or 3, they evade. 4, 5, or 6, they fire at short range as the knights come in. So, let's see. I hope they evade. 4, 5. Okay, now, I do have a reroll. I could re-roll this and hope that they evade, or I could just take it, fire, and then re-roll my shots. I'm going to use it to see if they can change position, if they can evade. Oh, 5, they can't. All right, it was a 50-50, and it's gone the wrong way. All right, so these guys continue to charge home. This is going to be messy, I suspect. Okay, and so these guys will fire at close range. There's 12 of them at least, so hey, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. They want to hope that this arrow, all this shooting stops these guys, or at least puts them, well, won't stop them, put some serious hurt on them. All right, they need 5s and 6s. Well, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hits. 5 hits on the knights. They'd normally save on a 1 or a 2. Anything but a 1 or a 2, but they are mounted. So mounted knights save on 1, 2, or 3. Okay, saving on a 1, 2, or a 3. Sorry, saving on 4, 5, and 6 for the knights. Okay, 3 saves, which means 2 of them go down, charging in. That might even up the odds slightly. So they crash into these fellows. Pikemen are at the rear going, hey, what's going on? And so now we will do the melee. So for the melee, we now calculate how many dice each side gets. Mounted men-at-arms, knights, they get 2 dice per knight, so that's 6 knights, so that's going to be 12 dice. And because they have a general with them, or a commander, he generates 2 dice, but they're automatic hits. So we don't need to roll his dice, it's going to be just 2 hits. Now, the archers, they only get they get both ranks, but they only get half a dice per man. So there's 12 guys there, so that's 6 dice, and then they get a 3rd rank. So the 3rd rank of pikemen will add 6 dice. If the pike were in the front rank, it would cancel out the abilities of the knights to
re-roll ones. But knights, when they charge, they re-roll any misses. So they'll normally hit on 4, 5, and 6, but they'll also re-roll their 1s, 2s, and 3s. And the 12 dice that are generated by the foot, well, they'll roll, they'll hit on 4, 5s, and 6s.
Okay, so the knights will be rolling 12 dice. They've already got 2 automatic hits. So we'll roll the 12 and then re-roll the misses. Okay, so only 2 hits that time. Geez, lots of 1s, 2s, and 3s. Not to worry. So 2 hits so far, plus the 2 from the commander. And okay, so all up, that's 10 out of 12 from the knights, plus another 2 from the commander, so 12 hits all up. 12. All right, so 12 hits on these guys. Jeez. That's brutal. Now the 12 back at them. Could have been worse though, I guess. Hitting on 4, 5s, and 6s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, they gave 9 in return. So the knights have taken 9 hits. Okay, so now we have to do the saving rolls. Okay, so we'll do the knights saving rolls first. So they have to roll 9 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And mounted knights in melee save on 3, 4, 5s, and 6s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they've lost 4. So they take 4 hits so far. And geez, 12 hits on the bowmen and the like. And they save on 5s and 6s. They've saved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, they saved half. So that was pretty good. So they lost 6. So the front rank of the bowmen is cut down. So they took 6 hits. Okay, so they've lost 6. The knights have lost 4. Now, the knights, their leader, that's 1 hit above 3. But I think the amendment said if it was if they're mounted, it's for each hit above the 2nd that they have to roll for. So let's just check that. Nah, it's only if the leader is getting shot at, is he more likely to be hit if he's on a horse. So it's just he just rolls to see if he's been hit. So it's 1 above 3. So if he rolls a 1, he's hit. 5, no, he's not. Okay. So they've taken 4 hits. Oh, wow. That reduces them to 2 knights out of the 6 that were left. Wow, they really copped a bit of a shellacking on the way in then. So there's just 2 of them left with their leader. The herald there just indicates that he's a level 2 leader. So 2 knights plus Somerset with his herald. And these guys now have 6 hits on them. Okay, so they've lost the melee. So let's just wrap that up. So they've lost the melee, so they have to do a crisis test. They have to roll above 6 on 2d6 to stand. And they've rolled an 11. All right. So they're fine. which means that they've survived the first round of melee. Now, cavalry or knights, any mounted troops that attack, if they do not cause their enemy to become daunted, then they have to disengage and pull back, which makes sense because the knights have come in, they've crashed into the enemy, and they haven't been able to get through, so they'll disengage. They're not one to get involved in a continuing melee. And why would you if you're on a horse? You would pull back and maybe charge again. But that's proved to be quite disastrous for those knights because, they've lost an awful lot of them. And because they're at half strength now, they have to do a morale crisis test at the end of the turn because of they're well below half strength. I mean, geez, they've been slaughtered. They've gone from 8 to 2. Bloody peasant archers. It's been this way ever since Agincourt. So, miraculously, the Yorkist archers have seen off the knights. They have moved back, so they retreat a full move, and they take up a disarray token. And so that's Somerset taken care of. Now, it's worth pointing out that if that had been infantry, then the melee would have continued, but it wouldn't have continued until the next bonus card comes out of the deck. But more on that later. All right, so anyway, that was a bloody affair. Okay, next card out, skirmishes, Lancastrian artillery and skirmishes. They were charged through, so I have to check to see if skirmishes can suffer disarray. But in the meantime, the artillery can certainly fire, and blessed be St. Barbara, they shall fire. Okay, so yeah, I don't think disarray affects skirmishes regardless, so I'm not going to worry about it. So this bombard will fire, and they'll fire at the nearest target because that makes perfectly good sense, quite frankly, that they would do that. Okay, 6 dice, firing at these guys here. 3 2s, a 4, 3 and a 5. No 6s, but no 1s, so they've shot but they haven't done any damage. These skirmishers here, can they actually hit the target? They shoot at these guys. Yes, they could fire at those guys, which makes more sense than trying to shoot at them. So 6 dice hitting on 5s and 6s. 2 hits, and they will save on 5 and 6. No saves, so they've taken another 2 hits. They are now in a terrible state. So that that's the skirmishes and artillery done for the Yorkists. Dudley, which is this chap here, but he is the commander-in-chief, so he can order other units to do things, but he will not because everyone else has been ordered. So Dudley's not going to do anything at all, which means the last card out, which doesn't get used, is Exeter. So Exeter is not activated in this turn. So that ends this turn. We remove all the order tokens and the smoke tokens from the guns, and then we're on to the next. Now, at the end of the turn, units that are below half strength are supposed to do a morale crisis test. However, it does say that if the unit won a melee in this turn, they don't have to do it. So they won the melee, but they, and insofar as they inflicted more casualties, but they've had to bounce back. So I'm not going to let them. I'm going to say that they don't need to do a morale crisis test in the absence of any evidence to the contrary at this stage. Alrighty, so we shuffled the deck. We cut the deck. And we draw the first card of the next turn, and it is Edmund, Earl of Rutland, and he's a 3. So he's got 3 orders to use. Right. Earl of Rutland, what are you going to do, my good man? Okay, so for the first order, Rutland gets these guys to move forward once, and then they're going to shoot. He's going to give an order token to them, and he's going to give an order token to himself. Well, he might get the Bombard to fire, actually. No, he'll give an order token to himself because he's going to... Yeah. He's going to give an order token to the Bombard. He'll get the Bombard to fire. So that's his 3 orders. First one, they've moved for 1, and then they're going to shoot. It's close range. This will be their first shot for the day. So... Thwacketa, and then they're going to be firing 12 dice, hitting on 5s and 6s, and hopefully they will dispatch those knights. All right. One, two, three, four, 5. 5 hits on 2 knights. They'll save on 4, 5s and 6s because they're mounted. Well, geez, they saved all but 1. All right, so another knight bites the dust. Okay. So that's them done. These guys here. They're going to fire twice. So that'll be 20 dice. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We'll fire 10 and then 10. So that'll take them up to shot 5. So the first hitting on 6s at that range. 1 hit. That's 1 so far. Nothing. Lots of 5s. But anyway, it's another hit. Let's see if they save that hit. No, they don't. They've taken 8 casualties, which means there's only 4 of those archers left as well. Mind you, these guys have only got 1 shot of arrow left in them. And now for the Bombard, that will fire at these guys over here. Because even though I can wait for the skirmish and artillery card to come up, there's always a chance it might not. So with that in mind, Rutland orders the gun to fire. Fire that cannon for crying out loud. And so they will fire 6 dice, hitting on 6s. Oh, another 3 1s. So that cannon explodes as well. Oh, jeez. All right, that's another Bombard that's blown up. Jeez, someone has been very dismissive of St. Barbara. So that's another gun gone. All right. Skirmishes and artillery. All right. So these crossbowmen are going to shoot at these guys. 6 dice. Now, crossbows and handguns reduce armor level by 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see if we can't put some hurt on these guys. Well, they got 3 hits. So 3 hits on them, and they'll save on. They normally save on anything but a 1 or a 2. So they'll save on anything but a 1, 2, or a 3. Oh, 1, 2, 3. So 3 hits on those men-at-arms. Man, it swings and roundabouts. Ouch. And these skirmishers here, they'll shoot at those guys there. Only 1 hit, and they save on a 5 or a 6, because it doesn't make any difference to just normal armor. So that's another hit. So 9 archers are laid low. Bonus card. All right. Grey is Lancastrian again, and they've got it. It's a dummy. So when playing solo, the dummy I just use as a didn't help anyone. Next card out, Exeter. Okay, and just like that, Exeter has artillery superiority because all the Lancastrian guns have gone boom. All right, he's going to give these guys an order, and he's going to give these guys an order. These guys are going to use both of their actions to place stakes. Now, placing stakes is a special order, and when you use a special order, it requires 2 actions. So that's all they can do. So these guys are going to place stakes. Okay, so that's them done. As for these chaps, actually he's going to give the orders to these guys. These guys are going to go forward for 1 move. Yep. And they're going to fire a single arrow storm. So that will be 12 dice, because they haven't taken any casualties. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12. Hitting on 5s and 6s. These guys at them. One hit, 2, 3. 3 hits. These guys will save on... Because these archers are Shire Levy, they only save on a 6. They lack armour. No saves, so 3 hits for those guys. Okay, next card out. Skirmishes and artillery from the Lancastrian side. The Lancastrian Bombard will shoot at them. No hits. And only 1-1. So that's them. And then you've got the archers. Well, they shall move up. And they'll fire 5 at them, hitting on 5 and 6. Three hits. 3 hits, saving on 5 and 6. They saved 1. So they go up to 5 casualties. Okay. So who's out next? So the next card out is Dudley. Okay, so the Commander-in-Chief of the Yorkists. Now he has two orders. And he's going to... actually, he's going to give an order to himself and he's going to ride across. So he's ridden his 12 inches over to here, and then that puts him within 6 inches of these guys, and he's going to give an order to these archers to fire at the men-at-arms to their front, and then the second order will get the pike to move through the archers. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. One more for luck. Well, at that range, he's going to hit on 5+. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hits on those men-at-arms. They will save on anything other than a 1 or a 2. 1 dead. So they've suffered 4 casualties now. So that's their first, and then the pikemen come through to the front. Now I'm pretty sure this is permissible. I'm pretty sure that when they have one order, a unit has 2 orders, so one they can fire, and it would make sense that the pike can then just move through to the front. They're the same unit, just... Okay, so that's them done. So now the next card out is Somerset. Okay, over here. Right. Well, that's the conundrum for Somerset is this. He's attached to these, well, this knight. If he stays with the knight, he can attempt to rally it, but in all probability, he's not going to be able to save that knight. So he's going to probably have to disengage from these knights and then ride over, join these men-at-arms, and then charge forward. At least he can add his 2 dice in combat to these guys and then go into the fight. So I think that's probably the wisest thing to do. The fact that there's a single knight there is probably not worth worrying about. So he's got 2 orders. Obviously, he's going to order himself to disengage. He's going to move the 12 inches to join these chaps, and then his final order will be to advance into contact. All right, so clearly it was a wise call by Dudley to get these pikemen to come forward. Just to be clear, the reason why I did that is I knew when Dudley's card came up that there was only 3 cards left in the deck, and I knew that one had to be Somerset, one would be Falkenberg, and one would be, well, who knows? I think, well, a bonus. So if Falkenberg had been the next card up, they would have been fine, but it wasn't. And it turned out to be Somerset. And so there's only 2 cards left. One of them doesn't get turned at all. Okay, so yeah. So we've got this hand-to-hand combat to resolve. So there's 8 men-at-arms all up. But of course, 4 of them have bitten the dust prior to coming into this hand-to-hand combat. And the pikemen, they're at full strength, so there's 12 of them, and also the archers behind them, they're at full strength. So they'll get a 3rd rank from the archers. So that'll be 18 pike and archers versus 8 men-at-arms. Okay, so this is the situation. We've got these men-at-arms going in. They've suffered 4 casualties, so that leaves 8 men-at-arms to fight at generating 1.5 dice per man. So 8 times 1. Okay, so that's going to give them 12 dice. And the pike block will have 12, plus they get a 3rd rank. So they'll have 12 plus 6 is 18. So it's 12 dice versus 18. Now, because the Somerset is involved, and he's a level 2 commander, he automatically inflicts 2 hits on the pike. So they're all they suffer 2 hits just regardless. Now that we'll roll the dice to resolve the combat, and it'll be 12 versus 18, hitting on 4, 5s, and 6s. But the men-at-arms, because they're attacking, get to re-roll 1s. First, 12 dice re-rolling 1s. Hitting on 4 plus. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hits. There's a 1 there. Okay, so they've got 5 hits plus 2 from the leader that's attached. So now we'll roll for the pike and their supporting archers. 18 dice hitting on 4, 5s, and 6s. So that is 10 hits. And there's one in that top corner, 10 hits. Okay, so the men-at-arms have 10 hits on them, and they will save on a 3 plus. Okay, so 3 casualties, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, that's correct. So the men-at-arms take 3 casualties. Taken a grand total of 7 hits, and they will save on 4 plus. So they've taken 3 hits. Okay, so we have a situation where the pike and bow unit has taken 3 casualties, and the men-at-arms have taken 3 casualties. So that's a tie. So what happens in the case of a draw? Let us consult the Book of Words and see. What it means is this: it's a continuing melee. After the first round of melee combat, melee continues if the first round was a tie. Correct, that's us. The loser passes. No, so that doesn't want. So what that means is the melee continues at the point when the first bonus card is drawn from the play deck during the next turn. All right. So the melee will continue in the next turn. Return to the play deck, and the next card out is Falkenberg, which is our good friend here. All right. Now he has 2 commands. What to do? Okay, so giving these archers to the front are badly shut up. What I think he'll do is, for 1 action, he will order the the pikemen to just swap positions with the archers to get them out of harm's way. And for his second action, he's going to join this unit for the ongoing melee and help over here. So that's what he will do. Conclusion of that, the pike have exchanged places with these retinue archers, and Falkenberg himself has pitched in to help with the battle over here because he could be the difference in this fight. Okay, so that leaves the last card, which we never use, which is bonus. And so that ends turn 4, and we now move to turn 5. So we'll gather up the order tokens, and ooh, there is a daunted unit here. So at the end of the turn, they have to test. It's a morale crisis. All right, so they're cavalry, so it's a 1d6 plus 1. A 5 is a good roll, but it's not enough. The only way this guy could pass is if he rolls a 6, and even then he'd still be daunted. Yeah, he's gone. So that's the knights out of the game, and so that is 2 tokens to the Yorkists. So the Lancastrians have gone from 6 to 4, and the Yorkists have gone from 6 to 8. The only other thing we have to do is these guys have to do a morale crisis test, as do these guys, because the knights that were here have routed, have dispersed. They're within 12 and they're a higher quality. So it's just a matter of rolling 2d6 for each unit, and then taking into things like such casualties and such. But so they just need a 5+ to pass. Yep. And the skirmishing archers, they've got 1 casualty on them, so they'll need a 6+. Yep. Okay, so they've passed. So they don't have to. They were just indicators to remind me they had to do morale crisis tests. So that's where we're at the end of turn 4, commencement of turn 5. We have 2 destroyed cannon. So the cannons, both of the cannons on the side of the Yorkists have exploded. The Lancastrian knights have been dispatched. The Lancastrian left wing is in a bit of disarray. These guys are in a world of hurt, with only 3 archers left there, with their stakes planted. These are guys who are in fairly good shape, as are these, but these men-at-arms, when the bonus card comes up, this ongoing melee will start, and Lord Falkenberg is pitched in as well to help the Yorkist cause on this flank. So it's going to be interesting stuff. So let's commence turn 5. Alright, so let's see which is the next card out. So I've shuffled the deck, and I've cut the cards. Okay, so the first one out is Rutland. Okay, this guy here, he is in command of these 2 units, because his Bombard that he was notionally commanding is no more. These guys have got 1 shot left, so they'll use it. It'll be a long-range shot, hitting on 6s. Yeah, he's in command range. No hits, and that's all these arrows used up. And then these guys will step through. His other command will be he's going to join these fellows here, and he's going to get the archers to fire an arrow storm at these guys. So there is only, no, it won't be 24 dice because they've got 5 casualties on them. So it'll be 7 and 7 is 14. 14 dice hitting on 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. That is pretty good shooting. 7 hits on these guys. They're going to save on 5s and 6s. 3 saves, so that's 4 hits on these guys here. And then he's going to get these guys to move through. And Rutland's final command will be to himself, and he's just moved himself into that central position there. All right, so next card out, Dudley. Duddles, my boy. All right, so what's he going to do? Well, Dudley's got 2 commands, so he's going to give 1 command to these guys, this unit here. And he will then give the other command to himself. For this unit, he's going to get them to move at 45 degrees and then go forward put some pressure on those those skirmishing archers there. And for his final command, he's going to move into a more central position, so that he can give some commands to his knights and anybody else that happens to be in his near vicinity. Okay, so that's Dudley done. Next card out is Lancastrian Skirmishes. Okay, that's easy. So these 5 guys here are going to shoot at that pike block. Oh, I really should have rolled that in a... Okay, 2 hits. 2 hits on the pikemen. They save on... Pike and bills. Yeah, they save on 4, 5 and 6. Oh, they save both. So no hits on the pikemen. And the Bombard... Well, boom. They're going to shoot at these men-at-arms. Sorry, not men-at-arms. Those billmen there within their arc. So they're going to shoot at these guys here. Hitting on a 6. Wow. They got 2 hits. So that's good shooting. Good shooting, Tex. Okay, so the next card out is Exeter. Well, okay. Well, Exeter has 2 commands. So the first command, because he's attached to these guys, he's going to order these guys to move forward and shoot. And then that should bring him in command radius of these guys, which will give them an order to shoot twice. Okay, so these guys will move forward 6 inches. And they will loose. That range is going to hit on 5s and 6s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 hits. And so the billman will save on 4 plus. 1, 2, 3, 4 saves. So that's 3 hits on the billman. He's going to get these guys to fire twice. So that's going to be a lot of shots. That's going to be, holy cow. Something like, well, they've got 4 casualties on them. So that's going to be 8 and 8 is 16. Hitting on 5 plus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 hits. And they will save on 4 plus. Wow, they saved all but 1. All but 1. So it takes them up to 4 casualties. Okay. That's Exeter. Oh, Exeter is now, because he's attached to these guys. Okay, so the next card out is Yorkist Skirmishes and Artillery. Okay, so these Yorkist Skirmishes are going to move up. They're going to just put themselves in front of here and they're just going to blaze away at those guys. 6 dice. Hitting on 5s and 6s. 2 hits. Oh, they might save. They saved 1. So there's 2 archers left. There's these skirmishers here in the woods. I might as well just fire at the other skirmishers because there's nothing else nearby. So that's 3 shots. But they did get 1 of them. So the skirmishers roll to save. They don't. So that's a skirmishing archer down from a crossbow bolt in the forehead. Okay, So the next card out is the bonus. Okay, well first of all we'll roll to see who gets the bonus. Let's say white is York, and the Yorkists, the Lancastrians, the Yorkist gets the bonus card, and it is a perk. Take a free action with one unengaged friendly unit. Well, that's going to be handy. But it also means that that ongoing melee will now continue. So let's go over and get it on. So this melee will now continue. The men-at-arms, there's 5 of them left. So they get 5 dice plus an extra dice for every 2 miniatures, basically. So they've got a grand total of 8 dice, plus they get 2 automatic hits. For the Yorkists, they've got 9 pikemen, plus they've got a commander attached, so that's why they get the 2 automatic hits. And they've also got 6 bowmen also supporting them. So that's 15 dice versus 8, and both get 2 automatic hits. All right, let's get it on. So we'll roll for the men-at-arms first. We'll roll their 8 dice, but because it's a second round of combat, we're only hitting on 5s and 6s now, as the troops are getting fatigued. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 3 hits by the men-at-arms. Let's see what the Yorkist infantry can do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hits. So now the men-at-arms will save on anything but a 1 or a 2. Jeez. They were 1s and 2s. So they've saved 3. They've saved 4, but they've sustained 3 hits. So another 3 hits on them. So that takes them. Let's use this one here. We'll just put that there for now. So they've got another 3 hits on them. And now we will do the hits on the pike and see how they bear up. So the Yorkists have suffered 3 hits plus the 2 automatics, so they've got 5 to save. They save on a 4+. Well, they only saved 1, so they take 4 hits, which means they lose by 1, and there's also a chance that their leader could get hit. So let's see if he does get hit. No, it's close though, 2. So they'll roll 2d6, and they've got to get above 7. Well, they've rolled a 10, so they've passed. So it will be another ongoing melee. So they will continue to fight again, but this time they will take a disarray token. So they're now in disarray, they're now very exhausted. Again, they'll only be hitting on 5s and 6s. And as the melee grinds on, they'll become... it becomes more difficult for them to continue to fight. They're well below half strength, but they're in a melee, so they don't have to do a morale crisis test at the end of the turn. So the next card out is Somerset, but he's kind of busy. Now he could disengage, but that would cause a morale crisis. I don't think they can actually disengage from a melee. Once they're in, I think. But if they could, if he could, by leaving, that would cause them to have a morale crisis test, which would invariably probably cause them to break. So in for a penny, in for a pound. He's fighting desperately there with those guys. Okay, Falkenberg, well, he's in there fighting, so he's not doing anything else. I'm going to use my perk card before the end of the turn, though. Take a free action with an unengaged friendly unit. All right, an unengaged friendly unit. I could fire with the skirmishes again, or I could launch a charge because they are unengaged. And I think I will, because they're so close now that they won't be able to react. So they'll charge. So they're going to go forward and they're going to melee with these bad boys. They have 4 casualties on their front, but they will be fighting archers as opposed to fighting billmen. So let's see how that plays. So they're going to go charging in, which means the Yorkists get, from the billmen, they'll get 6 in the front rank and 2 from the second rank because they've got 4 casualties on them. Plus they'll get another rank from the archers behind them. So that's a grand total of 12, 13, 14. By contrast, the Lancastrians, they get half a dice per man for the archers, so that's 6, and then they get 6 for the billmen to the rear, so that's 12. The difference being their armour is better than their armour, so the men-at-arms are going to have better saves. Furthermore, the men-at-arms, they're not men-at-arms, they're billmen. The billmen's armour is better than the archer's armour, so they get better saves, and also the billmen will get to re-roll any ones. So with that in mind, we'll now roll the dice and see what plays out. All right, so the billmen first, sitting on 4, 5s and 6s, and they're re-rolling any ones. There's a 1 there, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 hits. And yeah, so they got 9 hits. And in reply, the Lancastrians will hit on 4, 5s and 6s as well. And they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They've got 7 hits. Okay, so now let's roll the saves. We'll do the Yorkists, the Lancastrians save first. They've got 9 hits on them, and they save on 5 and 6. Well, okay, 1 save. So they've suffered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 casualties. That's pretty grim. Now the Yorkists, they're billmen, so they'll save on 4+. And they've saved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they've suffered 2 casualties. All right, so let's apply those casualties. So the billmen are now up to 6 casualties. I actually gave the archers more dice than they should because they already had 4 casualties on them. So with that in mind, they've suffered another 8 casualties plus 4. That wipes them out. So they've now been destroyed, which will give the another 2 coins to the Yorkists. So they now have 10 coins or 10 points, and the Lancastrians are down to 2. So we're going to shuffle the deck, cut the deck. Let's use that first. Oh, it's a bonus. So straight into the melee. Okay, this could be the decider. Let's see what happens. Okay, so here the men-at-arms are down to 2 men, which gives them 3 dice. Their leader's involved, so that gives them 2 automatic hits. For the pikemen, they have 5 men left. It's because of disarray, you only count the front ranks. There's no one else involved. So it's going to be 2 men-at-arms versus 5 pikemen plus the leaders. Let's just roll. They're hitting on 5s and 6s. So the men-at-arms first. Well, 2 hits for them. And for the pikemen, 2 hits for them. Plus 2, so a grand total of 4. The men-at-arms will save on anything but a 1 or a 2. They don't save 2, so the men-at-arms are wiped out. And the pikemen, they save on 4 plus. They've saved 1, they've lost 3. That leaves 2 pikemen standing, but all the men-at-arms are now gone. So they've all died. That gives another 2 coins, and that is game. Well, what a brawl. That had pretty much a little bit of everything in it. I think the only thing that was missing was a flank attack. When Rowan and I played this game, the result was fairly similar, actually. The only difference, well, and the Yorkists won, but we, like I said, we made a lot of errors, particularly in the melee and some of the saves. But anyway, that wraps up this game. I really like Never Mind the Billhooks. I recommend you give it a go. A good thorough reading of the rules, as with all war games, is probably a good idea. But other than that, we'll just wrap it up now. And if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe. And as Ginger would say, Ubiquay.